we go back to our breaking news story. The Reform leader, Nigel Farage, has had building rubble thrown at him on the campaign trail in South Yorkshire. Let's get the very latest with our Home and Security editor, Mark White, who joins us now. Now, Mark, you've spoken to Nigel about precisely what happened. What went on?
Well, he was on a campaign bus going through Barnsley town centre when someone in the crowd started throwing objects from a building construction site just by the side of the road. Here you can see Nigel on the top of that bus and then items being thrown. There was a coffee cup, which seems maybe innocuous enough, items taken out of that bin there. Wet cement, we believe, was thrown at him. Mr Farage believes that perhaps stones were thrown towards him as well. You can see that the police very quickly catch up with this individual and apprehend him. According to South Yorkshire Police, a 28-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of causing criminal damage on a public order offence. He has now been taken into custody. Now, Nigel Farage was interviewed very briefly just after this incident unfolded, and he expressed his frustration and also his concern about just how far people that want to make a point like this are prepared to go. This is what he said.
I'll tell you what I'm worried about.
Let me just make sure it's the right one.
If you think about this, a week after we commemorate D-Day, which was done so that we could live in a democracy, where we can agree to disagree, we can be very passionate, but agree to disagree. What we've now got is a mob that want to close down all debate. A mob that are prepared to use violence to achieve their goals. And that, for a democratic country, is very, very worrying indeed.
Be okay?
Me? Yeah. I'm used to it. I don't like it. Of course not. Because this is stopping me doing what I want to do. You know, I'm at my best going out, meeting people and talking to them, having debate with them. You know, going around the pubs or whatever I do. And these violent youngsters are stopping me. It's very, very frustrating.
It didn't hit you this time?
Didn't hit me this time, but yeah, I mean, you do wonder to what length these people will go.
And that's a point, I think, that he's trying to make, is just how far will people be prepared to go in trying to make that point. He's clearly laughing it off in a sense, but he is obviously deeply frustrated because his campaigning style takes him right out face to face with the public. But he's not the only politician doing that now, because we are in this general election campaign. So all MPs are out, all politicians and candidates are out there meeting the electorate and trying to get their message across and potentially putting themselves in harm's way. It's a difficult one for the police, the security services, to know where the threats lie. And often when it's a spontaneous event like this incident in Barnsley or a week ago in Essex where a milkshake was thrown over Mr Farage, then it's difficult to guard against that. And although you can see from the pictures there that milkshake, of course, Mr Farage's detractors no doubt sort of laughing and cackling about this, but the fact is it could happen to any politician, and it might not just be something as innocuous as a milkshake. We've seen in Europe, in Slovakia, in Germany, some really quite violent incidents where politicians have been targeted by those that disagree with them.
Mark, great to get Nigel's instant reaction there. Very interesting. It seems he has the attitude of the show will go on. But you say that he's been arrested on a public order offence. Is that right? Not some attempted assault. What else could this be?
Well, what you get is a holding arrest in the first instance. Public order is as good as any, really, just to arrest an individual and take him into custody. It might be that at a later date he might be charged with assault, but that's just the process that the police will go through. Just grabbing someone and arresting them on public order is probably the first thing that comes to mind in doing that. But the person is in custody now. They'll be interviewed. The police will be reviewing the video that we have and other people's videos and CCTV as well as interviewing eyewitnesses to find out exactly what was thrown at Mr Farage, because clearly if it was objects that could have caused some harm, then the potential charges that this individual could be facing would potentially be more serious as well. And this is the point. Politicians just don't know. We know, of course, there's a tradition in this country of protest and vociferous protest at events. But when it starts crossing over into items and objects being thrown at individuals, or individuals being physically attacked, that's when it becomes, of course, much more worrying and a much greater potential threat to the politicians out on the campaign trail.
It's a hugely concerning incident, but I suppose one silver lining is just the response of the South Yorkshire police there, acting in a way I think sadly, too many police forces don't act when incidents like this happen. The tackle that we saw was really quite impressive, of course aided by those construction workers who helped the police out there, and bravo to them. But Mark White, thank you so much for bringing us all the very latest on this developing story and this story that's becoming part of a pattern.
Yes, it certainly is. Yes, what happened to just, debating your disagreements? Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be.
Wouldn't that be nice? You go out to campaign for something you believe in, and what do you get? Some construction debris flying your way.
What's wrong with a good old egg? When did we lose?
I don't approve of the egg either.
I'm not entirely against eggs. I think it's good old-fashioned British tradition to egg a politician.
OK, I'll give you an egging when you least expect it.
I'm not a politician.
Anyway.
Yeah, rotten fruit, eggs, that's OK. Milkshakes, construction debris, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah.